ready for May 7th.
Right, May 7th, correct, Jay.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to take a look, and anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept them. They were good.
All right, Lisa.
I'll second it.
Frank. All right, we'll do the roll call. Brendan? Oh, you were not on, Brendan, right?
I was not on the
Not there,
7th.
right.
I was not either.
Correct.
So Todd wasn't on. All right, Geetha?
Yes.
All right. I was not on. John is not present. Colleen was not on and is not on call. Chris, is he on yet? He's going to be a
No.
couple minutes late. I don't see him. And I don't see Mark Scott yet.
No.
No. Richard?
Yes.
Okay. Don?
Yes, yeah, there's Chris.
Yes.
And Chris is on now?
Yeah,
Chris, we're just doing the meeting minutes for the 7th. And
you're on mute.
motion, you're on mute. Still on mute.
There we go.
Okay. Chris, we just did the meeting minutes for the 7th. We had a motion and a second, so just seeing if you had any issues with them. Do you hear us, Chris? Yeah, I don't think he's getting us.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear you.
Yeah.
You want me to do some sign language?
Yeah, he did.
Or in the car.
Oh, we got you. Another Chris. Chris, your twin is.
I had to use two devices, so
Here we
my
go.
audio
Much
driver.
better, Chris.
I'm pulling a Frank Hackett special, so I got to use two devices to make this work.
Okay.
You thought it was
Sorry
your
about
evil
that.
twin or something.
You had an avatar up there. Yeah, definitely.
So we were just doing the May 7th minutes, Chris. They were motioned and approved, and just wanted to see if you had any comment.
No,
Okay.
that was a lot of work, so no, those look good to me. Count me as a yes.
Okay, we're good. We can move
Good.
on then. And we'll move on to Lynch, May update from Andy.
Okay. I'm still on site here. I think the internet here is very slow, so I'm going to turn off my camera if that's okay.
You have the presentation, Andy? Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah. Can you see that? Okay. All right. Okay. So progress for May. I mean, a lot of stuff is, nearly completed. We did receive the generator, and that's about like 95% completed with the installation. It did came at the end of May. It's already on site. Curtain wall install, that's still ongoing. I know we're near completion. We still have like a few of the storefront that's I would say as of right now we're about like 99% complete, but they still have to do like the detail of the caulking and stuff. But we're getting close. Phenolic panels, that's also I would say about 98% complete right as of right now. They still have like some detailing that's still ongoing. And the acoustic ceiling tile, that's that's complete. Again, the subs still have like a few tiles still open that they, go up above the ceiling to finish the MEP. Epoxy flooring in the kitchen, that's complete, fully complete. Resilient flooring on the second and third floor, that's everything is done except for the base. They're gonna start that very soon. The metal ceiling, that's also near completion. I would say about like 98% right now. And the inside is almost done, but they still have like about a little bit on the outside that they're finishing up. Um, the the wall tile in the bathroom throughout the building, that's all completed. I would say 100%. The wall tile in area A at the pre-K lobby, that's also finished. Um, the binder, the paving, the binder course, that's done. The Cape Cod, the berm itself is completed, but I think there's some repair that they have to go back and do some repairing because the some of the truck that hit the curbs, but that they're aware of that, so they will fix that. Granite curbing, that's also about 99% completed. There's going to be another sidewalk paving tomorrow. That's going to be like, I would say, like about 50% of the paving will be done tomorrow. MEP finishes all level. They're still ongoing, but we're getting very close. I mean, HVAC is pretty much done. They just need to do the startup this Friday. Again, the floor tiling on the bathroom, that's going to be done soon. Metal panel installation, that's still, as I mentioned earlier, about 98% done. PV on the roof, that's completed. They're moving toward the canopy now. They're gonna try to get another crew for the canopy. So they're gonna try to push to get 2 crews for the PV. Placing sidewalk, as I mentioned earlier, gonna have a big push tomorrow. They're gonna continue with the loom throughout the site. Starting landscaping, the irrigation is, I mean, most of the work on the irrigation is almost done. We did get the planting, all the planting were delivered last week. Playground, the playground were installed on the south of the building. We have half of it. The north side is coming, and also another portion will be delivering on the 11th of June. MSBA update, the next MSBA meeting will be on the 18th. So a lot of the work will be done this month. For example, like we did get the wood gym floor. They started, they finished about 50% on the stage. They're gonna be finishing that tomorrow, and then we'll start right on the gym. The playground, we're trying to get the north playground, and then install that in finish the north side, and then jump back onto the south side when the south playground that would show up, and then they will finish the part of the pour in place play surface. That's will probably be done in July. MVP finishes. That is, we're waiting for a startup this Friday, and then they will start the commissioning. The flooring, we're target to finish that in about in the next 2 weeks in the gym flooring, resilient flooring. The wall pad is also target to finish in a couple of weeks this month in June. Storefront, as I mentioned, will be completed this month as well. The metal ceiling, metal panels, that will be on schedule for this month for completion. Lighting, exterior lighting, flat work, irrigation, all the landscape will also be completed this in June. The grid roof, it's nearly completion. They did the loom up there. They just need the planting. So that's probably will be done in June. The PV also will be done in June. Elevator, So we have the wood door that is coming on Thursday. So there will be an operator using the we'll have an operator to bring all the wood doors up to the second and third floor. And then once that is done, they will install the flooring in the elevator. We're scheduled to get the elevator inspected June 16th, 2 weeks from today. Fire alarm is also being tested and inspected on the week of June 16th. Punch list will follow that. The design team is planning to do the punch list the third week of June. We also have final cleaning toward right before substantial completion, so that will take like a week. So that will happen the third week of June, and then we'll have training. Training will happen toward the end of this month. Remaining work in July, we have the pedestrian bridge that is actually being fabricated right now. They make a lot of progress there ahead of schedule. We're just waiting for the permit on that, and we're scheduled for delivery on July 1st for delivery. Playground installation, there may be a little bit left of the playground, but they're going to try to finish that end of June, first week of July. The PV switchgear, I think as of right now, there was a delay on that and it's still coming on July 11. So we're targeting to finish that in July, toward the end of July. MVP commissioning, that's going to start. The startup is this Friday, so that's kind of ongoing. So it may lead into July. Final paving and line painting. So Bright want to get the final paving after the furniture delivery. So they want to do it in July, so that way the truck doesn't come in and mess up all the paving and the line striping. And then they will be applying another sealant on top of the final paving. And then that pour in place play surface, that's probably going to happen the first week of July. And then we should then have the teacher move in. Also, furniture delivery is also happening in July, and the teacher move in will be in August. Any question?
I have one.
Schedule?
Andy, I think at the last meeting you told us we'd get an update on window testing. I think we were waiting on some window testing for some sealing that wasn't yet complete, right, on the interior. Can you give us an update on scope of window testing? Are we done?
So we did we got like window B, we got like couple window that were passed, and then there was one the operable window. It failed, so we need to retest that, and then the remainder will be the storefront. The reason for the operable window, I think the gasket that the manufacturer has a problem with that. So the manufacturer, AFCO, they came out and they look at it. They'll come back with a solution. So once that they fix that, they'll retest those operable window only. And then we have the storefront. Once we're done with the storefront, they'll test the storefront.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this? Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, and it could be out to Meg too. Wondering when we're going to do maybe an evaluation of the school, make sure it's ADA compliant and everything's up to code. When should we do? I know we talked about it before, so.
Lisa, we're waiting on KMA's proposal for that.
Okay, how long, do you have any idea when that may come in?
No, but have talked to Meg, and what we've agreed, and I've relayed this to them, is it made sense to have them come in 2 rounds so that they would come before all the FF&E is installed, and then they'd come back once fixtures, furnishings, and equipment are in, and all the final site work is done as well. So
Okay.
I'll ping them this week and kind of see what's going on. But they did go to the website to familiarize themselves with the floor plan and so forth. I'll just have to bug KMA again.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
John, you have a question?
Yeah, I just looking at the site, the handicap ramp that's at the bridge. I don't know, that it looks like it's pretty steep and we wouldn't want to be surprised down the road that I couldn't get close enough to actually take some measurements on it because it's been fenced off. But Andy, that might be something we might want to look at. I would say just looking at it from the street, it looks like the slope is going to be too great to meet the handicap requirements.
Don, I agree with you. I think I mentioned that at a recent meeting too.
Did you? Okay. All right.
But maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was misjudging it. I mean, it's not when I saw it like 3 weeks ago, I don't think it was the completed product, and maybe
No, I know. Right.
But maybe that was something they were putting down before they were doing steps. To be honest with you, I have to go back and look and see where we stood on the instruction documents. At one point, we had an idea about steps with a ramp, and then we decided to get rid of the steps and do the ramp. And I'm not even sure what our final iteration was. But I agree.
Yeah, the
it's
ramp.
very steep.
Yeah, the ramp looks too steep, and so that we're not surprised, if that's something you could have somebody take a look at, that would be a good idea to put that away right from the get-go here.
Yeah, I can double check and get back to you on that because I cannot give you an answer right now, but I'll follow up.
On that note, Andy, I know Chris Sharkey is with us tonight. We've a couple of times on this job, we've sort of reminded the design team that we don't want to be designing right to the ADA limit for ramps and for slope, just because there are certain materials that have a natural slump to them, especially concrete. These materials are sort of imperfect. So I think Chris Sharkey, Warner Larson was actually going to be designing not to the limit, but actually kind of deliberately below it by a percent or two, just in case things get sloppy on site. We don't have ADA violations.
Yeah, I think they're all over it, as far as I'm aware. So, we can help Andy and his team with Brait and make sure that all of that's good.
Any other Geetha, you have a question?
I guess I was just with all the questions I asked. I was asking the question of when could we expect the as-built, sort of all these ADA access and whatnot from Brait builders, so that would reinforce what we see. When can we expect, Andy? I'm not sure in this process. Do we have to wait till the end, with the site grading and whatnot? Like, do they intend to take spot elevations and sort of give a as-built sort of plan for us?
So right now they're doing a lot of grading right now, and asphalt is scheduled. Like we already have like I would say all the binder are completed, and then they have the final paving in July. So
like anything, like paved or sidewalks or anything of that sort. Like, do we expect at the end that we could get the as-built? Sort of a survey, like a spot elevations taken by Brait at different locations, just to reconfirm.
Yeah, they'll get us the as-built and everything at the end.
Okay. And then is the and the same thought too, the pedestrian bridge, is it intended to be as an ADA access too from the beginning to the designer? Like, but is it intended to be used as well? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe it is, yes. I mean,
yes.
Any other questions on this page? Nope. All right, Andy, come on.
Yeah, the site work team has been working like 10-hour days and weekend. Also, same thing with Griffin. So they like over Saturday they have like 12 guys on site. We have about 5 guys with the site work, and then a few Marguerite on site doing like the getting ready for the footing for the sidewalk and stuff. So pretty things are going pretty well. Yeah, we just like I mentioned, just a few items like the the playground, unfortunately, we had some problem with the tariff, and we tried to push that to come over, and they brought only half of the playground on the south side. So, but that's getting delivered. I believe it's on the 11th of June. So, but we should be the building will be ready for furniture. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay, progress picture. Oh, can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is half of that playground that were delivered and installed. And then as I mentioned, the pour in place area here, that's gonna happen probably in July. They're gonna try to wrap that up the first week of July. The north playground, this is all ready for the playground to be delivered. We should be getting that this week, and once it's here, they're gonna jump right on it. Planting, we did receive this last week, and they already start installing planting throughout. The landscape architect did come to the site, meet with the landscaper, with the laying out plan and stuff. So it's ongoing. Irrigation, as you can see, like all the irrigation installed here at the this area. Sidewalk, this is ongoing sidewalk work that was placed. We're gonna have another big pour tomorrow. So this is the ongoing portion of the metal that the metal panel that they need to install this week. Storefront, still ongoing. So these picture, just remember they were taken in May, not in June. The generator got delivered, and they did a lot of connection to it. It's about, like as I mentioned earlier, almost complete. Solar TV on the roof. I think they're done with that. They're gonna start on the canopy very soon. The couple of weeks ago, we mentioned that this this color of the resilient flooring was delayed, but they are now on site and they've completed on the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor. So they're gonna work toward the 1st floor now, the accent color. The fireplace, the curbing are on site and all. Epoxy flooring in the kitchen, those are been placed in May, and also we got all the about, I would say, 95% of the kitchen equipment. I think there are still 2 items that are still pending, but it should be delivered this week. Metal ceiling, it's they still have as of this morning, they still have a little bit of this area here in the kitchen that they're working on, but it's near completion. Here's the progress photo from the looking at the from the south, looking at the north at the canopy area. So this area here that I mentioned is going to be poured tomorrow, the sidewalk. Here's looking from the south, you know, from the north, looking at the south elevation. So as of this morning, they did a lot of planting at this area, so it looked a lot more progress than this picture. Cash flow wise, right now we still have about $5.4 million left in the contingency. So we're doing pretty well with the changes. The key item here, as I mentioned, July 11, that's when the solar switchgear will be delivered on site. Pedestrian bridge, that's gonna happen in July. So those are the 2 big items that we're tracking. change order 13. We have 3 item this month, 3 PCO for change order 13 for a total of $24,022.01. The first PCO is additional admin suite wall protection. This is for the wood chair rail that need to be added to a number of wall throughout the main offices. And this is to add wall protection in an area where the chair, the back of the chair may rub into the wall and cause damage. So this is an owner's add, and this is for additional. I think I'm sorry, I got this value wrong. It should be $11,321.46. The 16,000 was the original value. It went down to $11,321.46. I apologize that this value is incorrect. PCO 97R1 for ERU2 and the ERU5 ductwork detector per RFI 318. So this is due to the configuration and space available of the ducts in 2 locations in the building. An additional duct smoke detector is required to be added to each ductwork. There were 2 smoke detector. So the original smoke detector that was carrying the document has an air sampling tube that will be located at the position of an airwell sound attenuator, which cannot be drilled into. So therefore, another duct smoke detector is required further down the stream in the ductwork. So CAM HVAC did not charge us for the detector, but however, there's like electrical component that we need the connection and the setup. So it come up to be a total of $6,550.45.
So Andy,
PCO
on that,
one.
Andy, just to go back on that, so the detectors were in Griffin's change order amount. Not
Correct,
Cam's.
yes.
Yeah, so Griffin charged for
Cam.
both detectors.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. So Cam did not charge us since they own,
To install, right?
Yeah, exactly. So PCO 107, this is to add pickleball line. This is an owner's request. This is to add the painted line for 1 pickleball court onto the wood floor in the gym. And it's for $1,455.85. So that the total for change order 13 is for $24,022.01.
Now, Andy, that price is actually 19,000. Because you changed the 16,000.
Hold on one second. I'm
I
sorry.
have it right here. Sorry, that's okay.
You have it.
Seems like
Okay. So here's here's the actual change order.
19,317.
So the actual change order is right here. So let me just reread it. So PCO 93 is for $11,321.46. PCO 97 is for $6,550. PCO 107 is for $1,445.85. Total is $19,317.76. I apologize for that.
Okay. We have a question from Chris Nixon.
Yeah, I had a couple of things, but I guess I'll just take them in reverse order and at the risk of frustrating Andrew Marin on this one. Does this change reflect full lines for pickleball, Andy or Chris?
No, I don't believe so. I believe it's just the tick marks, I believe.
So we should just be careful. That's what we're doing because we had a similar request, as this committee knows, at the high school and actually also with TAPE. We're doing the gymnasium renovation. And so our athletic director was concerned about too many full lines for too many sports that can cause confusion in play. So, and I think actually Frank was standing with me the night we had the conversation. I'm not sure Andrew was with us, but I think our resolution with Chris Blesson, too many Chris's here, but we're doing full lines for basketball, we're doing full lines for volleyball, but then we had tick marks, I think, for pickleball and badminton. But just to avoid just visual confusion. So I want to throw that out there. I have some concern if we're doing full lines. So hopefully we're not.
Let me double check on that. But I believe
Actually, let me share my screen. I have it open.
yeah, because Chris, so with the pickleball lines and badminton lines, those two game lines are really similar, but they're not the same, and so they're very, very close. And so that's why I think we get a lot of confusion on when you have badminton and pickleball. We've seen that happen.
And so is the proposal here. It looks like full lines for pickleball.
That's what it looks like. Yes. I guess we went reversed on this because we don't have badminton. I believe is what we kind of ended up with on this one.
So I feel like I should defer to Frank on this one, but I because we will have high school athletics in this space, just like we had high school basketball practicing at Lynch before it was torn down. I mean, this is a regulation court. Frank, is this something would we be wise to just double check with Marcaria before we move forward with full lines?
Let me follow up with Andrew and Mark tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm totally confused. I thought it was only badminton at the high school. I didn't realize we were doing anything with pickleball at the high school too. So
my memory was we were going to do we were going to do tick marks for badminton in one and tick marks for pickleball in the other. But there were, as you remember, Frank, there were a lot of requests.
Yeah. I'll follow up with them tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks. And then let's see. So Jay, so another just sort of cost question and I guess a heads up. Andy and Chris, where do we stand with outdoor furniture for the third floor classroom? I think the last time we talked, Chris, you had some proposals and those were being reviewed by Frank and Andrew and hopefully with Chrissy. I just want to remind the committee those have not, they were not part of the FF&E package, and I think we agreed that was more appropriate to come through landscape at a later date. So there's some scope there we still have to purchase. I'm just getting a little anxious about the timing in terms of order and delivery. So where do we stand, like with review with the district, and do we have a decision?
We are really close to having a decision. We're kind of having a back and forth on just a couple quantity things for those items, but we should be able to get that kind of, I would assume, hammered out this week and get a PCO RFP in probably by the end of the week.
Okay. And then my last question, I'm actually going to go to landscape, just seeing all those trees piled up on the island and knowing it's going to be almost 90 degrees. Chris, are we calling for do we call for tree gators? Do we have water bags on our trees that are in the specs? What do we do to keep these trees from drying out and dying out on us, especially if they're just perched up there in hot weather, balled up before they're in the ground?
I don't know if that's in the spec or not. I'd have to review that.
If it's not
for the trees, then
what's that?
I was going to add up and ask Chris. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Do we have any warranty for the tree? 1 year or grass? Things like that. That's what I was going to ask. I mean,
yeah, I'm just raising it because I don't want to get to a place where we have a warranty claim. If we, Chris, if you can follow up on that, because if we do not own tree gators, my suggestion, Jay and Meg, would be that we should get them, because we're making a huge investment in landscape here, and I don't think anybody's going to come steal tree gator bags. I mean, they could if they wanted to, but I can't imagine that's going to happen.
Let me double check on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made a lot of progress today. They installed probably like those piles you saw. They installed a lot. I think, and also I believe Chris Shockey, I think we have like 2-year warranty on the landscape on this project. I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's 1 or 2 years on that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Does
I can
does
double
anybody
check that.
does anybody on the committee remember, did we have bags at the high school or at VO? You guys remember? Jay, Meg, Gita?
The high school had
I
was
don't
written
think
in
so.
that Consigli was out there watering it during construction.
They're
That's right.
watering.
They
Yeah,
owned, and,
yeah.
and even afterwards, they had a truck going around and watering.
Yeah,
So,
We had the same issue at Vincent Owen with
yes,
people
the
out there
slope
watering
grass.
the that in the field out front.
Yeah.
That's right, because we went with seed, right? Or did we do
Right.
sod? But yeah.
No, it was seed.
We didn't have irrigation in those projects.
Correct.
All right. Well, okay. So my last
Or air
comment, and I'll
conditioning
shut up.
on VO.
I'm a big fan of the bags, just because without them, it's the human element. We're relying on somebody to show up with a truck and water
Yeah.
your investment in landscape, and the bags are short money to keep everything hydrated. I would encourage us to look into that if they're not in the specs.
Let me double check the specs, but I'll talk to Warner Larson as well.
All right. And I'm sorry I didn't raise that in March last year when I should have. I'm done.
okay.
Just have a clarification question, like a certain change orders before it turn into a line item cost. I thought it would be vetted first whether it could go up to that level to get the price. So just wondering, when the certain requests come, Jay, right? It's just like, how did it end up getting a line item cost before even vetting ourselves that it would fly?
I lost you on what item?
Like, for example, pickleball court, if we
So,
think
okay,
that,
so those have come around, and Andy sends them out, and we have a little subcommittee that takes a look at them. I mean, that pickleball was asked, and Andy sent that to Andrew because the question was raised from the group as to who the owner was that requested it. And I never saw a response on that, Andy, unless you did. But at the end of the day, this group, even though we've broke them down and Hill's gone back and got money back, especially on some of the items, they all should have been part of the original. Maybe not the pickleball, but a lot of these should have been part of the original job. It's just catching up now on these items.
I did talk to Andrew about it. He said, I think it was a request from one of the person from the community, but he said he'll answer, but tonight he wasn't here.
Right. No, I know. I know we asked the question, and I wanted to get back to the group, but just lost track of the answer of that. But next project, we have to do a better job of having the request come through the committee before going to the group, to the GC.
yeah, I wasn't sure even to price it, whether we need to pay for somebody, you know what I mean? That was
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Andy? All right. We'll move on to an update from Meg on the bridge.
Actually, Jay, I have one question for Andy.
Okay, sorry.
Andy, a couple of meetings ago, maybe 3 meetings ago, there was some conversations about a ceiling that was going to be painted before ceiling grid went up, I believe. And I don't know if there was ever closure on that.
Yeah, that was done through a change. Are you referring to a PCO, right? Like it's the black ceiling where they
Correct.
have the
Yep.
black rope. Yeah, that was done.
That's right.
Yes. They painted
Okay.
them black. Yeah, it looked really nice later
No
on when you
issues?
come through.
Okay,
No issues.
perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
And this may be premature, but I wanted to just ask through the chair, Jay, quick question. At some point, can we schedule a site walkthrough of the project before it gets too far down the line?
No, it's a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah, we should get that going.
thank you.
Yeah, get us a date, Jay, and then we'll set it up.
Okay.
Okay, there's really no update on the bridge. We still don't have our license yet. We did in April, we had to submit as a part of the Chapter 91 license application, we had to submit a request for advisory opinion seeking confirmation of the water dependent use of the bridge. And we did, last week, we did get an opinion back from MIPA saying that, yes, that was indeed the case. That was a step in the process. Now it's continues to be in technical review, but we have no confirmation on when we'll actually get the license. So hopefully, hopefully it will be by July.
Yeah.
But yeah, no other updates on that.
Jay, can
Thank
I
you.
ask Andy a question just related to this?
Yep.
So my understanding is the bridge is being made in Alabama and they are not behind schedule, they're actually ahead of schedule. Is the plan to just have it sit there until we get the permit and they put it on a truck and then it's on its way, or is it coming and we got to find a place for it?
I think as of right now, yes, we have to wait for the permit because they really don't have a place on site, because once we do all the paving, we just don't want any damage. This is prefabricated. They're just gonna go and place it right onto those foundation and then anchor them in.
Okay. Maybe all of them, just to follow up on Don's comment earlier, I think it'd be really important to double and triple check the slope of that ramp before we're setting a bridge on the structure.
Yep. Yeah, I have
Agreed.
it down.
Definitely.
Also, I just checked the spec. The landscape has 2-year warranty on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's responsible for the grading, Andy, for the pedestrian bridge? Just landscape, or how did it?
Jay Reed, the site contractor.
I mean,
Grading,
who
right?
provided
For
the
the grading, or
design
you
at the
talking
end?
about concrete?
Uh,
Are you asking for the grading on site, or are you asking about the ramp?
Not the grading on the side, the pedestrian bridge, yes, to a normal eye when you go there, yes, it's looking steep. I was just wondering who at the end of the day was kind of gave the proposed lands, the site grading surrounding the pedestrian bridge. That's what
So all
I'm
the
asking.
site grading would be, yeah, all the grading would be done by Jay Reed, the site contractor. But that
But
pedestrian
Warner
ramp that was
Larson
poured by
designed.
Marguerite.
Okay,
So if
Mhm. All right,
if that doesn't meet ADA, so then Marguerite had to fix it.
okay.
Right. We had a placeholder for fiber installation progress from Andrew. Do you happen to know what's going on with that, Meg? Or we'll just,
We're still waiting, the
Okay.
status is that the fiber should show up by the end of June. But Andrew's working with LCN and partners to come up with a temporary solution until the fiber is run. But I believe Andrew's got a scheduled meeting this week to get a status update. But right now it's still looking like the end of June.
okay. Is that the only communication to the building, or are there conventional POTS lines or something for fire alarm?
There
and
are,
elevator?
well, the POTS lines for the elevator. I don't know if.
Yeah, communication like elevator and other alarms and such.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if they go to any other spaces or if there's availability, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In what they ran. I'm not sure of that. I don't know if you know that, Andrew, or Andy rather.
So sorry, I keep getting in and out on the internet here. So the pot lines, those are installed by Verizon. And then I spoke to Andrew today. He did send an email out. The temporary internet will go through Verizon, and we have the equipment here already. LCN will install that this week. We're gonna try to get that on for the by Thursday this week, so that way we can start the HVAC unit.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on to the groundbreaking update from Frank. I guess it's just the tentative date, Frank, at this point, right?
Yeah, that's all we've got still.
And
So
what date's
what
that?
what is it, Frank?
25th of
August?
August. Let me double check though. But yes,
Okay.
yes, August 25, Monday.
All right. So then the next one, I think, Chris, we just jumped ahead on that, and that's the
Yeah.
outdoor classroom furnitures, right?
Yeah.
So you're all set on that?
Sure. Can I just ask Frank real quick? Do we have a time? Are you coordinating this like with Deb Goldberg and the MSBA, Frank?
Yeah, yep. So they can make the 25th. I don't have the time on my calendar, but I will. I can send that out tomorrow. I do think the time exists. Oh wait, I do have a time. Sorry. Yep. 10:30.
Yes.
10:30.
Yeah, Andrew already reached out to the MSBA, Matt Donovan, about that.
Yep.
It's 10:30 on the 25th.
Yep, they're set to go. They're locked in.
Okay.
Are we also planning, like we did at the other schools, to have some sort of an open house to the public to walk through after school got in session, or?
We've said we would do that, Jay. I think, the only reason we did not do it on the E-wing edition was because of COVID. And I'd love to get back into that. My memory is we did the E-wing. You guys did the E-wing open house. I was not on the EFPBC then, but I don't think I was. I think you did that after school had opened. And I think it was
Oh,
like
yeah, because the students helped guide around. It was pretty
Yeah.
neat. It was,
Yeah.
a month or
We can
two into
definitely
the-
we can definitely set that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you guys did it like on a Saturday, if my memory
It
is
was,
right.
it was on a Saturday.
Yeah. And that was really well attended. That was a great thing that the committee did back then.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, especially with the students got involved and they were able to walk people around and such. So.
Yeah. Can I just throw one other random thing out there before we move on to the manager's letter? Jay?
Yeah.
Chris Sharkey, how are we doing on public, the artwork installation in certain primetime spaces? Are you getting the input you need from the district? Are there like RFIs that need to be answered from contractors or anything? I'm assuming got all the blocking in the wall the way we needed.
Yep. Yeah, so we have all the blocking in the walls. The mosaic from the former school is in. Just needs to be painted a little bit and things like that. I do think we probably need to follow up with the district on. I don't think we have anything formally in terms of what art would go where yet. But I think all of the blocking and all of the things necessary, all of the lighting has been kind of in there. So it's all put in there so that the district can kind of follow along and put the art where they need it.
So
the wall graphics and things like that for us are still ongoing, but we're good on that. They just need to install that at this point.
They need to install. Say that again, Chris. They need to.
So they need to install the wall graphics. So we have all the input. We've sent that to Brait and their team, so that's good to go. I think if you're talking about some of the artwork that the school or the district would produce, we haven't really talked about that, but that can follow up. We have all the blocking for that if we need
So
it.
Frank, I'm going to put Frank on the spot. So, this is something we've been talking about for a few months. So is it helpful if can I send an email to is Jen Levatino sort of interested and available to us for this process, Frank?
Yeah, so Chris, let me follow up with Andrew tomorrow because I know there's been some communications going on. I'm just not in charge of the artwork.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I thought there were two, and I'm trying to be sure the dots are connected.
Yes. Yep. I'll follow up with Andrew tomorrow.
It'd be nice to have the walls filled with something beautiful and not be sort of vacant on opening day. So let me know if I can help.
Would agree. We'll do.
Okay. Thanks, Jay. Sorry.
All right. Can move on to the manager's letter.
Let me see. I'll try to pull that up real quick. Put it on screen. It's going to take me just a moment. I know, Meg, you sent that out.
Yep.
Okay.
While you're pulling that up, go get started.
Yeah.
So Bright Builders, application 18, $4,057,207.69. We have TAPAY's monthly invoice, $96,518.39. Then Triumph's monthly invoice for $29,850. EarthCam's invoice for $565. Harbor Network, there's 2 invoices there. They never submitted like March's invoice, so both are in the amount of $431.60. Frida's time from January till May 7th was $1,530.04. And then we have 2 from GovConnect. One is for technology items that have been received by the district for $72,450, and then the other is $7,368.75. And then one for JAMP, which I believe is some type of licensing, in the amount of $1,237.50. So those are all the payment authorizations. There are 2 spending authorizations. One is change order 13 that Andrew talked about, and then the other is going to be an amendment from TAPA for additional services from what are they called? Neovardis for their continued services. And the amount of that additional services from them is $30,000, and then you tack on TAPA's overhead and profit, then it's $33,000. So I haven't received the actual amendment yet, but I wanted to get it before the committee because that work is ongoing and we don't want any delays in that review for the solar work. And that's it.
Any questions, Meg? Can we get a motion?
Yeah, I move we authorize the town manager to pay the payment authorizations outlined in her memo of June 2nd to the EFPBC, and to approve the spending authorizations also outlined in her June 2nd memo to the EFPBC for Bright Brothers and TAPA Architects.
Second.
With Chris on it. Okay. Roll call, Frank.
Aye.
Lisa. I think we lost Lisa.
No,
Okay.
I'm here.
Oh.
I couldn't get the right thing to be pressed. Sorry.
All right. Are you okay with it, Lisa?
But I thought it was great. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Brendan?
Aye.
Geetha?
Right.
And Richard?
Yes.
And Emily?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. That's all set, Meg. We have next meeting. We have a normal second meeting on June 16th, and we're holding the 23rd and the 30th, just in case with everything going on, coming to the end here.
Can I ask a question, Jay, just
Yes.
related to those 2 dates? Since we have had those out there for a while for a hold. With respect to Brendan's, request about having a site visit, my memory is when we last did that, it was kind of early evening. I think somebody's got to remind me, did we do it at 5 or 5:30 or something like that? And of course, Brate needed time to kind of get things cleaned up in advance. Would it make sense to kind of throw that out there to maybe grab one of those potentially for a visit, if that worked with Brate?
It was, sorry to interrupt, but it was closer to the 4:30. As soon as the site was done, it was just more in the fall winter timeline that it looked darker outside than it really was.
Yeah, and I think we did that. My memory, though, Vivian, is we did that because we did have a meeting agenda that night that was pretty full. So if as we go into June, do we try to do a site visit kind of at that timeline, or do we try to do something closer to 6 if that means more people can participate, and then maybe we start a meeting at 7 instead of 6? I mean, the whole point in having a few of these in June is, with these don't need to be marathon meetings, but at least we're meeting as a committee in case we need to react or respond to something. I'm
Is
just
there-
throwing that out there.
No, it's a good idea, Chris. Is there an area that we could just meet while we're there?
That's a
at the
good
school?
idea.
We can meet in the job trailer that Andy is in. I mean, it'll be empty, so we could absolutely sit there and meet in person there and do it virtually as well.
Okay. And work on that and see if one of those 2 dates work. Gives us plenty of time. All right. Any other questions?
What's the big move, the move date by the movers, when did you say, Andy?
We will be moving, the first phase of it, we'll be moving out of the Parkhurst, the modular. So they're gonna move all the furniture into the Parkhurst. That's the first phase. So the modular need to go away in July.
Yeah,
And
what
then-
date, July first week, or?
I think we had it at like June 28. That was the first date.
All right, the only thing I was going to ask Jay is if that day's June 28th, we want to walk through before that. That's all I want to ask.
No, this is the modular.
Yeah, just getting out of the module. They won't be bringing the furniture into the
Getting
high
it.
school.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
Yeah, for a while.
okay.
Yeah, everything's being stored off-site, right, Andy, until we're ready for it?
Yeah, it's gonna be stored inside the Parkhurst. Actually, I take it back. I think it's the week of the 23rd. It's that week. That's we're moving. Yeah, don't take that 28th date. It's the week of the 23rd. That's what
They're moving out of the modulars.
out of the modular, and then the actual move. The teachers moving into the new building. That's happening in August, first week of August.
Okay.
So Jay, can I ask you real quick related to this? You've been good. You've been reminding us from time to time that we needed to kind of clarify how we wanted Triumph to leave the site, right? Were there some items we needed to kind of clarify? Is that a conversation yet to take place? Are we clear with what we're looking for?
We're waiting for a scope from TAPE of what can,
But
a
I
written
think
scope.
I've been meeting with Triumph regularly, and they're very clear on what is going to be left behind. So they have to give us a price. The only thing they need, Chris, is probably a little detail on how to end the ramp that
Yeah.
comes down in parking lot. Chris Sharkey. So we'll want to give them something that, but they understand about the cut and cap in the street, and they know what to do about the conduit coming out of the transformer pad, and then this ramp. We met with the building inspector, and so everybody's on board on what needs to be done paperwork wise, and then we have to pull another work order with Eversource to get rid of the power, dismantle the transformer to those guys. So
And Meg, based on how those conversations have gone, are we expecting other charges for Triumph above and beyond just the monthly lease payment for the buildings? Because we already own them, removing them from the site.
no, we're not going over our lease time, so we're right on schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys want to do like a fence there, isn't that?
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that fence, Andrew. So that was a request from Andrew from the school department. Yeah, I forgot to put that on here. We'll have to look at that. Andrew wanted to replace the chain link fence that surrounds the playground there. It got pretty battered. So Triumph did give us a price to do that work, and I believe Andy and Chris and his team looked at it and thought it was reasonable. So I'll be sending it off to you, Jay. I don't know, maybe you even saw it, Jay. I can't remember.
He told us the price. I thought the price was a lot, but we do a lot of fencing, but I don't know the scope. So it was just he threw out a number of 20,000. So I don't know how much was really involved. But I did go up there the other day and walk around, and I think the fence is completely gone now. So it's an entire
Yeah.
fence. Yeah. So we'll just have to
Yeah.
send it. Hopefully there's some detail. I was trying to picture the amount of linear footage that he was putting in, but it might be a bigger area than I'm thinking. So we'll.
Yeah, I'll look at the sketch that they
Yeah.
provided. Yeah.
But
'cause
for
they have
Triumph leaving, I mean, we assume they're gonna leave the transformer pad and cap it.
The
They're gonna
pad.
leave all
Yep.
the water and the sprinkler and the sewer
Yep.
cutting the street, so we're not gonna touch the neighbor's property anymore, and then leave that ramp and fence and railing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Meg, what
Yeah.
about the poles? Right? Didn't we deliberately put up those poles on our property so they would come down? That was your idea, right?
Yeah, I don't know what Eversource is gonna do with those polls.
I mean, if they're
I
willing
don't
to
know
keep
yet.
them,
I
Chris,
have,
we should let them keep them for now till we know what we're doing.
I just bring
agree.
it up because I thought
Yeah.
Meg
Yeah.
had a grand plan for those poles, and they were like some of the first things that went in on this job. And I can't remember what her plan was, but I thought she had some good ideas about it.
Well, it had more to do with the fact that we didn't need to get
Easement.
easement and a grant allocation or anything. I mean, we did need a grant allocation, but no easements were required because it was on, public property. So, but I don't know. I have, like every project, takes a little while for Terrence to get caught up and get back to me. So I haven't had a chance to connect. I'm working on the Mystic School with him right now. So.
Meg, let me
Right.
know if you need anything on either of those. Just shoot me a message and I can help you.
Well, Terrence has promised me the transformer on the Mystic later this week, so we'll see if he
If it
makes
doesn't,
good.
I'm gonna be with someone tomorrow that can. So just let me know if he doesn't deliver, and we'll
Okay,
make sure it's a priority for him.
sounds good.
Okay.
Plan for the parkers, the teachers, the parking, would that be turned back into field or? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the parking goes back to a field, and where the modulars are now returns to the parking lot as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, it's been an interesting conversation, and now we're right on time. Would you like a motion to adjourn at 7:05?
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank
You get a second?
I'll second that.
Thanks, Brendan. Okay, last roll call. Frank,
Aye.
Lisa,
Yes.
all right, Geetha,
Yes.
and Richard,
Aye.
Don,
Yes.
and Emily.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We're right
Thank
on
you.
time, and
Thank
have
you.
a great week.
Thank you, Jay.
Good luck,
Yeah.
Frank, with the
Okay.
graduation this week.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good night,
Yeah.
everybody. See ya.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.